Hello, everyone. Welcome to my show, my match review. Nice to have you on. This is your opportunity to add your thoughts on the game and fill up the comments box with what you thought about the drab nil draw against another top six side this season. That's the seventh game against a team in the top six this season, which we failed to win, and it's now 5 draws and 2 defeats against them in what's been a long but short-ish. It feels like a long season, but it's all condensed year in the Premier League. The slip-ups we've had this season, I can understand some of them, but you can also not forgive the ones that we've yet to have. But yeah, it's a hard one to talk about, really. As always, the show doesn't last very long. It's mandatorily meant to be between 10 to 15 minutes. So we don't cover we cover as much as we can, but we don't talk about way too much. As we just discussed in the preview, United again struggling to beat a side that were counter pressing against United's original plan, which is to stifle their backline. On points in the match, it worked. It seemed that there was an idea from Tuchel to try and put United under as much stress as possible when they have possession in that zone between the centre circle and our backline. The winning the ball there would mean they could overload the wings and get men inside the edge of the area, maybe try and get a few chances. They did that towards the end of the game especially. But I struggled to see how they could win it without getting the ball into Olivier Giroud. I also struggled. Well, he had a good chance in the first half as well, but he also struggled to see how United could win this game. They didn't play very well. They didn't play overly. They didn't play with so much confidence, and that's minus the penalty appeal. We'll cover that in a minute, but you can't forgive it. You can't legislate for these dismal performances against the top six sides. I mean, look, great. We've drawn 5 games against them and lost 2. It's beggars belief, really, and we're a little short on something at the moment in terms of that ability to really beat them in games that matter. And you got to create more chances for a start. You got to be a lot more positive in games. You got to show energy. Show a lot more energy to your opposition. You're willing to outrun them. You're willing to hassle them all day. Ultimately, though, they will have spells in the game, and I think that United did very well today was handle that period where Chelsea had spells in the match to dominate the match. My point of view is scant compared to, many of the top people who speak of United in the game. But as a fan, I failed to see what Ollie's plan was today. I failed to see what he thought about what he was looking to do. I can only pick it up as I can only determine that his plan was to press them, get on the counter attack, maybe just go back to how we were last season, or sit deep. Another thing we did last season was sit deep and counter when we had the ball outside of our third and get our pacey wingers and forwards up the field as quickly as possible to outnumber those who were defending it. We did that only once in the game. It was at the very end when Chelsea had a free kick again in their position where she would have threatened United. We get it out, and McTominay goes running down the line as Wan-Bissaka finds him. If he gets a good ball in, he could easily find the 2 men on the left far post in James and Rashford. Either of them could put it in the net, but ultimately, I think it's just smart play from N'Golo Kante there. He knows where the ball's coming from. He reads it well. He gets it back and starts to think about my next move. Starts to think about the next move he'll make once he gets the ball back from McTominay's cross. Gets it back, goes up the field. He's not a good ball in from McTominay though, which is the very least he needs to do is play in front of the defenders. Try and focus on keeping his teammates on side. Maybe he could have found that. He could have found a teammate in the box, but yeah. So another draw, another top 6 draw. What more can we do? We're struggling to pick up the results we need. We've got to do better against a lot of teams who we feel we can really beat on our day. We could have beaten Chelsea on our day. Old Trafford, we should have beaten them today if we had more opportunities. Hated to remember that Fred had a good chance. He just flashed one past the far post, but that's half a chance. We've really got to take our opportunities when they come and not let our opponents dictate the game most of the time when it comes to them having possession and putting us under severe stress on our final third, particularly when we have a defence that can be at times very fragile. A great clean sheet for them today, but moments of fragility, uncertainty sometimes with Lindelof and Maguire, and today Lindelof played okay. The other, hopefully he improves his form. But what do you guys think? Do you think Lindelof played well today? Let me know. It's now what, 22 games this season we played? It's more than that. It feels like more than 26. There we go. 12 games left in the Premier League season. We've got 12 games left. About 60 points to play for, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 60 points or so to play for. Yeah, near 60 or so points to play for. We've got to really knuckle down now and start to pick up points. More good results, more wins, more of a effort to beat teams in the season in this very narrow season where we've got little error available to us. The opportunities that were offered to us today by Leicester dropping points and West Ham and West Ham losing yesterday would have been that United would have now gone 3 clear of Leicester and an 8 clear of 7 or 8 clear of West Ham. And for them to now drop points again, it's now just offering in midweek when we go to Palace and Liverpool go to Chelsea. It now offers the opportunity for Chelsea to put up performances against a Liverpool team that do struggle. And they are, at the moment, playing Sheffield United. But even still, they are in a lot of trouble with lots of players out. And Chelsea will go there with a renewed confidence that they could one-up them here. They could beat Liverpool. So that's something we should take into strongly consider. We've got to be able to take our opportunities in games against the top 6 more often. We also have to win as many as we can. Palace is the first opportunity. And yeah, it's got to be better there. It's got to be better against City as well next Saturday. It's a big game. Next Sunday. It's a big game. Nonetheless, doesn't matter what the stakes are, how far City are ahead of us. But we must win this game or stop their momentum in any way possible. I hope Ollie's got a lot on his plate tonight, thinking about what's the next course of action for the team against Palace. It's a team who have got nothing to play for. They're in no man's land in the Premier League. They are sort of okay from being relegated, but they're nowhere near the top half, nowhere near the top 6 at the moment, or in the top hunt to try and get into the top 10. They have inconsistent results. I would like us to be able to go there and get something from that game, and just go in there with a bullish attitude on Wednesday night. Look to get on the front foot against them and score early. Look, last season against Palace, we struggled and didn't score until late on in the first half. Lovely work from Rashford after a lovely ball in from Fernandes. Rashford did so well in the box, juked away from 2. They sent them to the shops and then rolled it into the net. I would like a similar performance. They're missing their talisman in Wilfried Zaha. We also have a measure of revenge to act upon them because they beat us on the opening weekend of our season in the Premier League. So that still is a neck in my, a little bit of a poke on, a thorn in my side, I should say, a nick in my craw, something. I don't know what the phrase is, but it's been a thorn in our side since we lost that game earlier this season. We've been struggling, and we struggled to start very well. We got a run together, brought us top of the table. We're here now. We got a chance to get revenge. None better than now, because if we don't get a run together between now and the end of the season, ideally we need to get clear of those outside of the top 4 so we can secure our Champions League spot and then look ahead to the cups, because that's our best bet of silverware this season. We're in 2 competitions. It looked tough on paper initially, but Leicester now losing players now to injury, key men in Maddison and Barnes, you start to think FA Cup now starting to become a little bit more likely, but you never know with that competition whether United will turn up against Leicester or not is a complete mystery. The other one is the Europa League. We got drawn against AC Milan. I have to apologise for not doing a reaction to the draw on Friday, as I was doing other commitments, fortunately. It's not the best draw for Manchester United, but Milan are a team historically that have given United grief in European football. And the last time we played against them, we did come up on top in the Champions League. That's on a competitive scale. We haven't met them since the pre-season of the 1920 season. So, in that sense, we've got plenty of scope to look to. And Milan, who themselves have dwindled a bit in their hopes of the title, losing to their rivals last week in Inter Milan, scraped through Red Star Belgrade. They've got they've got a good team, yes, and they can be on their day Italy's finest. They've proved that this season. Their hopes are like ours. They're second in Serie A. They're aiming to catch Inter, but Inter are running away with the league now, really, with no scope of stopping. So our game against AC Milan will really just be AC's only opportunity as a trophy. We've got to treat this game as if it's a Champions League game, play with the maximum effort, and hopefully get through that one with no trouble. Especially as we're at home, the most important thing we need to do is keep a clean sheet against Milan. So close to that game, we'll cover a bit more on Trafford Talk, but alas, it is what it is. Finally, just to update you on the next few streams. As always, this Tuesday night is a huge. Tuesday night will be the review. I think if our Canadian friend Cam's got time, he'll come and do it. And if he can do it on Wednesday as well, ideal. Otherwise, it'll be me again. There may be a bonus video from tonight's game, getting thoughts from the opposition point of view. I need to get someone to agree with it first. If not, then we'll see what we can do for the City game next Sunday. There's so much riding on that game for Man United. They've got to get a result, so we're hoping they can. But yeah, hopefully this was again an opportunity for me to vent my thoughts to the masses on the internet. Alas, we need more wins against the top six. That's the underlying conclusion. More top six wins. And plenty of work still to do in terms of beating them when it matters. But another draw, another 0-0 is a game which for some people, leaves more questions than answers. The penalty was a tough call, but ultimately we sit here now and we sit here and think if it was given, yeah, great, we win, but we sit back all day. We survive by the skin of our teeth. It's a right on this. It's a right on this. It's very disappointing to have seen referees proclaim to our players that if it was a penalty, there'd be a lot of talking points about it later, or handball rule and this and that. And I spent all half time looking at the handball rule, whether it was right or not. But it's just a shambles. It's a shame that we're still in this situation. But alas, the referees don't give penalties to United now. Jurgen Klopp cried foul once, and suddenly no one gives a damn about giving United a chance on 12 yards. It's just not fair. It's harsh on us, really. Red Max TV, nice to have you on. It says it's awful today. Yeah, mate, it is awful. It's a shame that we are where we are. And I don't mean second place is bad. Ultimately, it proves that we have made progress in the space of 18 months under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I will forever back him, no matter what. But I will point the finger at him if things go wrong. Today, it went wrong in the sense that he couldn't get United attacking frequently enough to stress Chelsea's backline out. If he had that on the nail, we would have been somewhere. We would have had something more to talk about than just the 0-0 draw. Chances we had were few and far between, but ultimately it's 0-0. We can't do more than that. But yeah. So again, Tuesday night preview, Wednesday preview, Sunday, Saturday, and then we have the Saturday show, which I believe we have. I think it's about a derby day, and then we'll have for the first time. I think we'll be doing a watch along. I'll host it, so you get for the very first time a live watch along of how I've watched a game and Also, you guys can get involved in the chat a lot more. Hopefully, be the most interactive stream we have. It's going to be a pilot show, the Manchester Derby. So the only way we'll get to do it more, I'll tell you how you do it. If you get us 1 to 200 subscribers, obviously we're planning a giveaway for that particular landmark. So keep an eye out on that one if you get us 200. Secondly, on the day of the match, when we do the watch along, your task is to get over 100 likes on the watch along. If you can do that, I will do more, obviously pending approval. That after that pilot watch along show, I will do more, and hopefully will for the remainder of the season it will become a fixture of Traffic Talk, a live watch along of every game between the Manchester Derby and the end of the season for Man United. So if I don't do it, someone else will. So that's how it works, because I have other commitments to fulfill. So you never know what may happen. It may be a completely different person. It could be Cam, who does the preview shows, maybe even Robbie one day. Who knows? But it's a disappointing result today. United have plenty to think about, and there's a lot of talking points again about our performance and the penalty call. But we move on. We stick with the agenda. Got our focus on getting Champions League football secured and making our stance in second place safe and secure. We don't want to have to deal with teams below us starting to catch us up and profiting from United's errors frequently. So keep our focus on that, and we should be good. Thanks again, everyone for tuning in. I appreciate you joining. We need to get a drink and reflect on this evening. But until next one on Wednesday night from me, it's been a pleasure, and I'll see you all on Wednesday. Till then, good night.